Christmas time, and believe it or not, it's exactly 35 years since I got my very first Nintendo Game Boy. So when LEGO released an official Nintendo Game Boy set this year, that really felt like the perfectly timed surprise. So while we're slowly counting down to Christmas Eve, I'll pass the time with a relaxed brick build, especially since my next station is still busy installing Apple's System 7.5 in the background. And of course, we'll also take a closer look at this little accessory here, the Nintendo Light Boy. It needs a small repair because the integrated lights have given up after all these years. So, LEGO, retro hardware and a bit of hands-on fixing, let's get into it.
It's Christmas time. I'm the Vintage Collector and these are my short Advent time stories. Normally I just tear something like this open, but not this time. I'm actually taking a moment and cutting the box open properly because for once I really want to keep it. This one is going to live right next to my original Nintendo Game Boy box from 1990, and that alone already makes this feel a bit special. Before jumping into the build, let's take a quick look at the instruction booklet. LEGO does a genuinely nice job here, retelling some key milestones of the original Game Boy, its launch, its impact and why it became such an iconic piece of hardware. That said, I do have one small gripe. The booklet itself could have been a bit nicer. The paper feels rather thin, and for a set like this I would have expected something slightly more premium. Alright, let's get building. I won't talk much during the main build itself, this part is really just about watching the bricks coming together. Let's just take a moment to look at the initial build stage, the first game cartridge for Super Mario Land, along with the display stand and these 3D holographic inserts. And this is where LEGO did something really clever. These inserts don't just look nice, they actually recreate the Game Boy Power-On sequence and even some iconic scenes from the included games, Super Mario Land and The Legend of Zelda. It's a small detail, but it immediately catches your attention if you ever owned the real thing. Right, we're done, time for a side-by-side comparison. Must say, the accuracy is impressive, the size is spot on, and even the weight feels surprisingly close to the real Game Boy. Now, this is really a proper scale model made from bricks. It's no surprise some people have already taken things a step further. There are builds out there where this Lego Game Boy has been turned into a fully functioning unit by adding real electronics inside. Slightly insane, but also very tempting. I won't be doing that myself though, as I plan an exhibit with both the Lego replica and the original Game Boy side by side. So instead of modding the Lego build, let's just switch gears. Next up is this little accessory here, the Nintendo Light Boy. The Nintendo Light Boy is actually two accessories in one, a magnifier and the light attachment. Since the original Game Boy had no backlight, this helped you see the screen clearly in darker rooms. It clipped on top, the lens enlarged the image and the small lamps lit the display so you could continue gaming after bedtime. Of course, I could go and swap the LCD for a backlit display, but I want to keep the Game Boy in its original condition. Hence I'll have to figure out why the Light Boy doesn't light up anymore. Once I opened up the battery compartment, part of the mystery immediately revealed itself. Leaked battery goo. Never a good sign. So it's time for some cleanup. To do that, I need to pry open the enclosure, remove the contact plates and drop them into a cleaning solution to get rid of the corrosion. Not everything dissolved, so I had to sand it with the Dremel. Unfortunately, one part broke away. As it's Christmas Eve and everything's closed, I have no chance right now to get new copper plates to do it right, so I'll do a dirty soldering fix for now. Finally, I get a proper 3 volts reading at the hinge contacts. But I still had to rework the contact plates to fix the loose connection. I also experimented a bit with LEDs, but none of the ones I had were suitable. Mini LEDs are definitely the way to go, but I'll need some ultra bright ones that can put out enough light from just 3 volts. The original bulbs are honestly more a joke than actually useful, as they're too dim as well. Still, the Game Boy, the Light Boy together with the Lego Game Boy make a lovely little exhibit in my office. And of course, the real Game Boy is always ready for a quick round of Tetris or Super Mario Land. I'm the Vintage Collector and this was my Christmas special. I wish you a very Merry Christmas, all the best, a peaceful time and joyful days together with your friends and families. Thanks for watching and see you next Sunday.